Have a sparkle-riffic day! Hello, sparkly shoppers! I have been to the Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby yet again. This time, though, I am making a wreath. Actually, I'm going to be making 2 wreaths, and I needed to get a bunch of fake flowers in order to fill my wreaths up. I also found some of these cute little fall-colored birdies that I'm going to put on my wreath. And I got some pumpkin that matches my wreath. I found some cute little beaded corn. This one, you can tell the difference. It's not as good a quality, but I got that at the Dollar Tree. These 2 I got at Hobby Lobby. Here are the wreaths. I actually got these at Hobby Lobby. They're normally $6.99 for each, and then I got it for 40% off because I had a coupon. Actually, I only got one of them for 40% off. Considering I'm going to make my own wreath instead of paying $90 for a wreath that's already put together, I thought that was a pretty good deal. Here are some lovely vases, or vases, however you prefer to say it. Most of these already were in my collection, but I did pick up 2 today at the Dollar Tree. I got this little kind of a green color, and then this pumpkin-y orange. I'm from Tennessee, so I have to love the color orange. That's part of our Tennessee Vol colors. And I have this beautiful picture, and then I have a faceted pot here. This is made out of glass, like a mosaic pattern, and it's got browns and stuff. It's even got little leaves. I may not use all of these. I just went ahead and pulled everything out of my china hutch, and I have some intentions to put some of these flowers. I'm going to pop them in some planters that I have out in my yard. What I'm doing, I'm not going to be poking the entirety of each of these bunches of flowers into the wreath. I want to cut the stems apart because I'm going to be actually weaving them into the branches however that I like them, because I want to be able to use these wreaths for different occasions throughout the year, not just fall. I don't want to be gluing anything or making anything permanent here. I am taking a pair of cutting pliers that is heavy duty, that's going to be okay to cut like floral wire. You're going to put your wire into that slot, and then you'll be cutting however far down your stalk of your flower that you want. Once you cut out certain flowers that you want to play around with, you're just going to stick these into the vine and play around with it. However, there's no right or wrong, because I want to kind of pick off certain flowers and poke those down in there. I'm actually coming to the very end of the stem and cutting it off so that I've got a nice long stem, and then I can weave it into this vine. So you're just going to cut off the flowers from the bundle and weave them in however you like for your design. And if there's any really loosey-goosey ones, you can use your pipe cleaners or some floral wire if you do have that. This is a way to make a wreath for any occasion, for all seasons, especially if you have a ton of craft supplies. You don't want to have to hot glue stuff and buy a new wreath every time that you're decorating. And for me, I am also going a step further and adding some little vine pumpkins and these cute little birdies, because I love birds. I'll be back whenever I play around a little bit. So you can see I'm already starting to take shape here. I put my focal, kind of a burgundy sunflower, and one of my ears of corn over here with a big lily flower, but I'm sort of tapering off in my flowers as I go to the left. And I have a little sprig of these little berries that actually sort of match the large berries that's in this sunflower piece that I got. I actually got the sunflower piece at Hobby Lobby. So this was pretty expensive even with the discount, but because it's so beautiful and fall looking and sparkly, and then you can still cut these off and stick them in sporadically, I can use them on both wreaths instead of only having to use them in one arrangement. And it's real high quality too. That glitter doesn't shake off as easily as some of your dollar store flowers. You know, my name is A Touch of Sparkle by Monica. I've got to have some sparkle in my life. And I just decided, okay, well, that's going to be my center point. I kind of wanted my big flower and my ear of corn to kind of be off to the right of that and taper it off periodically. I'm bringing my little wreath over here on this doorknob. When you've laid it flat and even kind of at an angle on a table, it's hard to see how it's going to look when it's hanging on the wall. So I have that little pumpkin viney thing sitting on top of my wreath vine, and I think that that looks really cute because then it sort of looks natural, like he built him a little pumpkin nest. I've decided instead of tapering it off so much on that left hand side that I'd go ahead and fill it in a little bit more. For some people that don't remember, I put a little video out on how to make a little gift bow using this wired ribbon. I will put a link to that in my description, so if you want to see that specifically. Otherwise, I'm going to do one here. Just kind of working off my spool here, and this is only 9 feet of wire as ribbon. Have quite a bit left, and that's what I'll use for my tail, but that did use up my entire 9-foot ribbon spool. Actually attach this now to the remainder of the ribbon that I had on that spool to make the tails that are going to hang down off of the wreath. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take it over here to my wreath and see very roughly. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut it off a little bit shorter for the tails. Okay, I just wanted to show you. The only thing that I did is I made sure that I was at the halfway point of whatever length of ribbon that I wanted to use. And then I just actually twisted this in the center. That way my pattern is showing front ways on both sides. Twist the pipe cleaner around that twist of this part of the ribbon, and then I'm going to trim off the tails to the length that I want to put on my wreath, and then I'll just take the remainder of the pipe cleaner and feed it up onto my wreath wherever I want it. I just took the poofy part of the bow and I twisted it around the twist that I had on the long piece of ribbon and played around and adjusted my lower pieces a little bit because you want to be able to see your pattern on both sides. See how long those tails are? I don't want them to be that long. I want to trim off these longer tails. Okay, I trimmed it off straight. And then what I'm going to do, because you want to have kind of a dovetail, is I'm just folding that in half and cutting to my corner. These little lighters, I got mine at the Dollar Tree. You're just going to take it at the edges here, and you're not going to burn them. I mean, you don't want to make a burn mark on the ribbon itself, but just to where you're kind of close to where the heat off of the flame will kind of melt the fabric a little bit. It's very easy though to warp it, so you know, you might have to practice on some other ribbon before you do your bows. You can use clear fingernail polish to finish the ends of your dovetail on your ribbon, that way they don't fray. I use the lighter just because I'm used to messing with hair bows and stuff, you know, different types of ribbon like grosgrain. The center of this ribbon is a silk. It can be a little obstinate in trying to melt that, or you can just leave it like this if you like the frayed look. Some of the ribbon, you know, if you use burlap or whatever, you're going to like that kind of a frayed look. This is wreath number 1. I'll put this wreath on the front door temporarily until the husband gets home. This one I think though I'm going to actually have my husband put above the fireplace. This is going to be wreath number 2, and I'm going to make it similar in a lot of ways, but I am going to change it up. I only have one more ear of corn, so that's another way it's going to be different, and it's a little bit different coloration on this ear of corn where it's more reddish orange instead of yellowish. Here's what I've done so far on wreath number 2. And as you can see, I am kind of making a straight line across the bottom. This second wreath, I am not going with a graduated floral theme as I go from one side to the other. This time I'm trying to make it full all the way across, and then I may even continue to go up just a little bit more on each side with some leaves and some sparkle garland. Then I'm going to use the sparkly tool to wrap around the top on this wreath in particular, and I think I'm going to put a second birdie up on the top so it can be talking to its little buddy down here in the bottom. So here is wreath number 2. There's a couple of spots that I want to fill in, maybe with 1 or 2 more flowers and a little bit more bling over to the left, and then I'm going to put the tulle around the top. Here are both of my wreaths. I put them side by side so you could see the slight differences. One of them has 2 corn cobs, which is on the right. The other has 1. I put a poofy bow on the right hand side one, whereas I used 3 different colors of sparkly tulle like I used in my hair bow video. I just wrapped that tulle around there after I had tied a bow at the top and kind of poofed it out a little bit. The one here on the left, I've got 2 little birdies instead of just the one, which is what I did over here on the right. I think these turned out so pretty. I think I do prefer the one here on the left that has the sparkly tulle wrapped around it. Here with this wreath, just tied a bow at the top, just like a regular bow, like you're tying your shoe. And I did that with 3 different colors of tulle all together so that then I could wrap them as one piece around both sides of the wreath. And that I thought really turned out pretty because it just sort of looks fluid and natural. I also then took a pipe cleaner and put those acorn bells up at the top. The same spools of tulle that I got from the Dollar Tree are what I used here on this wreath, as well as what I used in that hair bow. So it just depends on what kind of style wreath that you want to make. I mean, you can see you don't have to spend a lot of money as long as you get a variety of flowers, or if you don't like this many, just stick with one style of flower. It was really easy and it's not very expensive. I really like using the vine. If you're just tired of the look, you want to change out the look that you made. Those foam wreaths, once they get a lot of holes in them, then you're kind of stuck because your flowers are going to, you're not going to be able to put new flowers in there without them wanting to fall out of the pre-existing holes, and it's also messy. You get all that foam everywhere. So if it's going to be a wreath that you are not going to want to change out, in other words, you're going to make it one time and then you're going to store it, then you can use those foam wreaths without any problem, provided that you get most of your flowers at the dollar store where you can find a lot of really pretty flowers. Oh goodness, I think the one here with the poofy bow I'm going to leave out here outside, and then this one with the tulle I'm going to put up above the fireplace. So y'all let me know, which one do you prefer? The one that's got the sparkly tulle on the left, or the one that's got the poofy bow on the right? Just let me know there in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. So as far as the cost on these wreaths, by the time I did everything all said and done, it was about $35 with tax for both of these wreaths. You can't even buy one of these wreaths that's decorated already for anywhere between $50 to $90, depending on how fancy the flowers and decorations are that are on the wreaths. These are budget-friendly wreaths that you can use for any holiday, and because these are the vine wreaths and I did not glue anything or use any kind of permanent fixture in attaching my flowers and birds and things, then I can remove all of this and decorate again for another holiday or occasion. It'll be a sustainable wreath decoration. So here is the fireplace, and I've got the wreath hanging up along with my little pumpkin that I got from Kmart, and then I had some leftover flowers, so I made little arrangements in vases. The boa I also got at the Dollar Tree, and it might be a little tacky, but I scattered some of my little leaves on it, and I think it's okay. See, it doesn't look that bad close up with the little leaves scattered about. You can do a lot for not a whole lot of money. Most of the things that I got were from the Dollar Tree or 40 to 70% off. Like I showed you in my fall haul video, which I'll link in the description, It is so easy to just kind of go crazy with expensive stuff, but it's even easier if you save a little money. Check out all of the dollar stores in your area, and I'm sure you're going to find some cool stuff, especially around the holidays, that you're going to think is really cute and you can use in this way. Just have fun with it, and don't forget also, if you're like me and you're a crafty, crazy person, you know, I'm not judging. Look into your closets that you've got some holiday decorations stashed and see if you can't reuse those. You know, reuse, reduce, recycle. You might get a decoration for 1 year and be tired of it, pack it away in your closet and forget about it. And that might be something that you could take apart, stuff into a wreath, or make a flower arrangement out of, or decorate packages with. I love to take a lot of these flowers apart and use their blossoms to glue onto box tops. Please leave your comments for me and let me know what you think.
Happy fall, y'all!